Legal & General is a UK-based financial service provider. We specialise in providing retirement solutions to corporations and individuals. Our skills lie in asset management, origination, technology and longevity risk. I work in the group functions, overseeing how we deliver against our climate ambitions, with a specific responsibility for how we integrate climate change and nature into our group-wide risk management framework. Well, I think it's fundamental. That's why in our transition plan we actually have such a significant section that's dedicated to describing the risks and dependencies. We need to be transparent about what we can and what we cannot control. And for our transition plan that covers all of our value chain, that means there are areas where we seek to influence but do not have control over. And that creates a dependency. So it's really important to be transparent about that. Well, first and foremost, as a large global investor, we are dependent on the world transitioning. Where we look at our assets, it's dependent on the investee companies delivering against their transition plans. So that's not abdicating our responsibility, it's recognising that we have a dependency on the actions of others and interlinks. And the second is data. We've got enough data to be making informed decisions, but there are still gaps. We use proxies to go and fill those out. But as better data comes through, it's going to change our metrics, which is of course a core part of how we measure our progress. So in messaging and conveying our dependencies to stakeholders, we've adopted the main strategy of being as transparent as possible. So for example, our response is built across 3 pillars. Our operations that we have direct control over, our investments where whilst we have control over the investment decisions that we take, we are also dependent on the investees themselves delivering against their transition plans. And thirdly, where we use our influence, where we try to engage to make those changes and support the transition to net zero. Well, I think the key is to acknowledge that we don't really know what's going to happen by 2050, 2030, but the important thing is to have a target for where you want to get to and think about how you can achieve it. Be transparent about what you don't know, about where there needs to be more work, but just get started.